ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبثهم منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. عباد الله، بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وأزواجه أجمعين. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد: شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه من كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم الأسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Ramadan is the month during which Nuzul of Quran happened, in which Quran was revealed on mankind and humans, providing guidance for the people. So Quran is to provide us the guidance as a human. It's a clear teaching. Let's not harbor any doubt. It's a clear teaching. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you say in the other ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Alif Lam Mim Zalik Kitabul La Rayba Fi. Let's not harbor any doubt. This is the beacon of your knowledge and everything. So this is your actual living reference guide. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is a clear teaching. And the statute book, again, it says, هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ وَالْبَيِّنَاتِ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. So this is not just for the Muslims. This is for the Nas. Nas means mankind. So who wants to take advantage of it? Who wants to be the righteous one or the right one? They have to follow Quran. And we know that during this time, even in these trying times, you have seen that when this whole episode started from Wuhan and China, and I've seen at least the video, some brother shared that Chinese president was visiting to the mosque, to the masjid. And he was asking, so Muslims, is there anything in your book which tells us how to overcome these challenges? We saw what happened in the fire in Australia before. There was a fire, forest fire, and it was out of spiral. It was not, they were not able to control it. And Muslims gathered with the sincerity because that's how the teaching was. That's the Rasulullah teaching. Do this way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Rasulullah how to educate your people, how to do this, how to overcome these challenges. And what they all get together and they make that special salah and a special dua with the sincerity. And Allah listened to that. So these are the signs. When people look for miracles and other things, those miracles are different. But these are the signs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in and out shows us. Who else is there? Who else is there to protect us except Allah? This is Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this one, let's not harbor any doubt. This is a perfect book. And those who witness this month shall fast, shall do the fasting. So doing the fasting is compulsory on us as a Muslim, as long as we meet the conditions and we don't, or let's put the other way around, unless you don't meet the other conditions, not to have the fasting. Legitimate reason, you are a traveler as next of the in the same ayat it's talking about, if you are traveling, definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala understand. He don't want to burden you. He says nowadays actually this is again debatable. Do we constitute the travel of today, modern day time, as that travel or not? Yes, in a way, if you follow the teaching, as it says, this constitute the musafat of that. Like if you are beyond 48.5 miles, or again, it depends on understanding of different various scholars. Some say 57 and a half, some say 36 miles constitute the traveling time, some say 48.5. So Ijma is somewhere around 48, 46, 48 miles. So let's say 48.5 miles. So if you're going beyond that, definitely you are a traveler. It's your choice. But guess what? That's a respite, temporary respite. You have to make up those days. So if I have to make up those days, why not do it now? Traveling is so easy nowadays. Even when we're flying, I must have experience, for my own, and I don't need to brag, but what I'm saying is, I fly in and out from here there. 1 2 hours flight. What's the big deal? You go like a normal you're doing, and you go take it over there, and you come back again. What's the big deal? You can do that. You can keep the fasting going this way. Again, it depends on your taqwa. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that understanding, the taqwa, that we continue on this way. We don't take it as a burden. As soon as we take something as a burden, then it doesn't matter what you do. Everything is a burden. Getting out of the bed is a burden. Going to sleep is a burden. Eating is a burden. Doing any chores in the house is a burden. Around the house is a burden. So coming to the masjid is a burden. So if you don't take it as a burden, take it everything. So the principle of the life should be take everything in a positive, constructive manner. So for every equation, there's a positive of it, there's a positivity, and there's a negativity. It's up to us as a human. Do you want to be positive or you want to be negative? That's what sometimes people say, in business terminology, he says, don't hang around with the negative people. They'll bring you down as a negative. So when you hang around with the negative people, so they always talk negative about each and everything. For everything is irking them, It irks me. I'm fed up, I'm this and this. And next is you hear yourself unconsciously, this is what's coming out of you. You say, yeah, I don't like it. So we will build that habit. So if we are one of those, we get influenced by those folks, it's better to stay away. But if you can influence them and bring the positivity, by all means, hang around with those people. That's my advice. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that I have given you ease for this one. If you're a traveler, that's okay. We constitute for example, from here to some people drive daily in and out as their job and means and whatnot for the business. They travel from here to DC. They travel from here to some other places. And it's easy, more than 1 hour. It's easy, 100 miles even. So it's your choice. I'll leave up to you because of this understanding other. Do you want to constitute that as a traveler and don't want to do the fasting? Or guess what? You have to make up those days anyway. So why not make it now if you have to make it up? So who we are deceiving? Another way I would say, who we are deceiving, man? Who we are deceiving here? Are we deceiving ourselves? Or we are trying to play something and says, okay, let's spend it, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this leeway, that's fine. But you have to make up those days again. So why not do it now? When the actual essence of the Quran, and we can take the reward of that one, or where we can take the actual essence of the fasting for the Sawm, where it says when you do the fasting of the month of Ramadan, it multiplies so many rewards. So choice is ours. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who are ill or traveling may substitute the same number of other days that I just mentioned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you are ill or you're a traveler, so you can get respite now. But for the ill is different. I already explained was from my previous bayan or khutbah as well, that if you are sick, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want to put you in burden. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never burdens a soul beyond its means. To its credit, what it earns, and to against it, what it commits. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intention is not to burden the mankind and humans overall. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is helping us to become more disciplined. This is for our own advantage. If we are pleasing, and this is, you do all of those ibadah. This is one of the, you do all of your ibadah and you expect something is you're gonna get rewards and whatnot. Alhamdulillah, you will. But this is one of the things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'm gonna get reward. Obviously, every reward has to come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But for the sawm, for the fasting, especially Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is the thing. You do khalasatan for me, you do purity for me, and I'm the one gonna give you the reward for that. SubhanAllah. What else we want? Allah said, I will give you for special reward for this fasting. And when we fast, and obviously when we don't eat for long, for the other people who do not have that understanding, they say, well, there's a bad smell come out of mouth and whatnot. But we know the hadith. We know what Quran talks about it. This is the most pleasant smell inside of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So who we are pleasing? The person in front of us or the Creator? If our intention is to please Creator, we should not be worried about these things. Yes, but at the same time, make sure we do take care of our hygiene. Like we need to brush, we need to do swak, we need to do all those things. You didn't brush the teeth, you didn't do all those things, and you're expecting like it's part of like club everything together. So part of Ramadan. Be realistic, At least we need to take care of ourselves. When you eat, like same concept we do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the intention is not to put the hardship on you. And Allah wishes for you convenience, not the hardship, that you may fulfill your obligation. So these are our obligations set by who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Must do. And to glorify Allah for guiding you. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying? You need to glorify me. I'm the one who guided you. We could be. I mean, how can we brag about ourselves as a human? We could be the misguided one. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah has given us hidayah and keeping us firm on that one. And with our struggle and all those things, we struggle a little bit. Allah put us more reward and put you in the like it's, as it says, you are covered in surrounding by angels. Allah sent His helper to help you. But if we want to go in plunger, we want to go in something bad, whatnot, Allah is not in our need of those ibadah, and Allah will let you plunger more. They say go, as in one of the ayah talks about in Surah Baqarah. It says it's up to us. If you want to do good, Allah will be our helper. But if someone wants to do bad, you will do bad for yourself. Allah will let you go wrong on that one. As it comes in one of the ayah, it talks about mutashabihat. And sometimes Allah says, mutashabihat is they resemble each other. And people, when you recite and do ponder on it, what happens is you start reciting, and this is the source comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah's blessing is on you, and you keep reciting. And here comes the other thing, sometimes Imam or who, if you're reciting yourself, sometimes you may figure out the same ayah comes somewhere else. It's so close that you start reciting this one, you shift on the other one, you keep reciting the other, then you say, oh, I went wrong actually. That doesn't mean you don't know, you know, but that's what happened. The other thing is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, the people who wants to get the hadayah, they will get from the same Quran, or maybe from the same ayah sometime, and from the same ayah sometimes people derive the wrong meaning and they go wrong totally. So Allah says, for the one who goes wrong, Allah says, I'll let them go more. So it's like an elastic. Allah says, I'll leave it. Elastic concept of elastic is, Allah says, take this one, keep running wherever you're going. So it looks like we both are tied with this. So one keeps running with the elastic, but at the end, what? You stretch, or how far you want to stretch, but at the there's an end for it. And end is, everyone has an end. So when that ends, you'll keep flying back to the source. That's a concept. So we will go flying back to who? Our Creator. And then Allah will give hisab. And if Allah will start doing the hisab, no one will be spared, not even us. Doesn't matter how muttaqi we are. So we need to always pray, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do our khatam bil khair, and let's not do any stuff. People, scholars always talk about it, and you know that the concept too. We need to make the dua. People sometimes say, okay, I'm going to give hisab hereafter. Don't even say these words. Refrain from saying these words. If Allah starts doing the hisab, we all will fail. No one will pass those tests. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with your mercy, let me enter to the Jannah بغير hisab. Without the hisab. That's the best dua you need to do. And the most important thing is why we need to do the fasting, why we need to recite Quran. We try to establish the Taraweeh. Why do we do that? Did we ever ponder on that one? It's just a ritual we do? No, says you recite this Quran in and out through the year. But this is especially in commemoration that this Nuzul Quran started in Ramadan. And this is one of the beautiful, beautiful blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah has sent the complete message in the shape of a Quran. Obviously, it came in gradual process, but this is we have to refer to anything, refer back to Quran. And if you want to see how this happened or how these things were implemented and in those kind of concepts, then look for the hadith to back those and how to do the salah, for example. Quran talks about salah, how to do the salah right. Look into hadith. This context will explain you. It talks about what travelers and you do all those things. What constitutes the travel and what not. Look into a hadith that talks about it. Mustafa, how long it constitutes as a traveler. Look for other things. Always look for that one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allah will not. So obviously, we need to, first of all, we need to listen to the Quran and recite more and more. So this is the month of the Quran as well. This is the month of the Soom, is the month of the Quran as well. So recite more and more. And Allah give more reward for that one. And as I mentioned, if we should have a goal, for this Ramadan. So pick up at least some ayah. Pick up some surah. Try to memorize those. Try to correct your tajweed. How to recite it right. And not just you, but help your family as well. Why not? And according to this ayah, what I just recited, Allah will not hold us responsible for anything which we don't have a choice about. As in the case of one being ill and has to take medication, whatnot, Allah says, I understand. Because Allah knows everything. Allah knows what we know. What Allah knows, we don't know. So all our intentions, our innermost thought, Allah knows. But what Allah's plans are, we can guess. Based on the talimat, based on Quran, we can guess and we can do closer and closer and closer. Rest is, Wallahu alam. Leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will reward you for that. Our intentions are more important than that one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَاللَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. You shall establish the salah. This is a contact prayer. We call it in English contact prayer. Why is contact? This is the contact established between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And no other mechanism is better than this when you get so closer, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has in one of the places Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'm closer to you more than your jugular vein. More than closer to you than your jugular vein. And when you get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you for that. And when you do the salah, this is one of the acts. Another act Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants is to make sure you do the zakat. I'm going to touch this zakat a little bit here. And inshallah in the next Bismillah, if Allah wills, I'm going to talk more on detail what zakat, why we need to do zakat. But Allah says, so this is tartib. If you see more and more time in the Quran, as soon as it talks about salah, next is what? Backing with the zakat. It says, وَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. Most of the time you see these coming back and forth, back and back. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's a reason for that. There got to be a reason when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it this way. Allah says, do the salah and do the charity. We do the fasting, and if towards the end of fasting, what we need to do is, we need to do the zakat too. We need to do the zakat. And that's what it is. And towards the end, when we complete this one, and we have to do before salah, you have to do another kind of zakat. We're going to talk about this one later in there. We're going to talk as part of zakat of those. And what is that? If we have done any wrongdoings, whatever, they'll make it up for you. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept those ones, then this is what it is. So this is of the tartib of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is, and obey Allah and His Messenger. This is a clear message. Obey only who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah. Yes, you can listen to any of the alim, any of the scholars, any of your who are knowledgeable people, whatnot. But at the end, we have to obey what Allah wants us to obey and or follow, and obey Rasulullah. If ta'limat of Rasulullah you keep in front of anyone else, then we won't be misguided, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us understand this point, because this is very critical. And as we say, this Ramadan is divided into three portions. First 10 portion, second 10 portions, and the third 10 portion, or 9 or 10, whatever. The first one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allah showers, according to the hadith of Rasulullah. This is a hadith of Rasulullah. It says, talk about Awwal Ashra, second Ashra, and third Ashra, talking about 10 or 10 or 9, whatever. So, first one is seeking the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seeking the mercy and blessing to His servants so that they may acquire all their needs. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, first, I'm going to take care of you as a human. So, seek my mercy. So, my rahmah. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. Recite these dua. We are still in that. So keep doing and seeking mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in and out without even Ramadan through the life is over. Because if we are going to enter in Jannah, we're going to enter in Jannah by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no way we can enter in overall. I mean, I may have related this one in the past. Some of you may have heard me say. I'm going to say that again. Beautiful of the qissa that comes in the hadith as well. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Rasulullah sallallahu. He said there was a abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did the ibadah for 500 years. And as he comes to the closer of the time of his death, and then he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, Allah sent the angel, and he was like, when the Ishab established for him. So this is going to come in future, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relayed this example early on. So what's going to happen? So this abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, Allah says, Dakhul Jannah with my mercy. Enter in Jannah with my mercy, with my rahim. I'm doing the rahim on you and just go enter in Jannah. So he says, yeah, Allah, you did, you're doing the mercy, you're merciful and you're doing, but because of my ibadah, I did 500 years of ibadah for you. In sincerity, because he secluded himself, he went to some small island or whatnot, and he started reading the salah over there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made some nahar, some of the fountain go and make the water flowing for him, so he's used to drink water. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make one pomegranate tree over there. So he used to enjoy pomegranate and drink water, and he was not. So provision was provided right over there where he was. But he has no interaction for 500 years of ibadah. So all he was doing was eating ibadah, eating ibadah, eating ibadah. Now he's died, and now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is revealing what's going to happen hereafter. So he's going to say, Allah, give me reward for my 500 years of ibadah. 500 years of ibadah. Allah says, I'm telling you, go with my mercy into it, enter into Jannah. But when he'll persist, he'll keep on saying, resist that one, or he'll keep on saying, Allah says, okay, let's just start the hisab. He's going to bring the angel to do the hisab. He said, okay, do the hisab. They said they're going to do the hisab of just a hat of eye, just the surrounding of eye, and all of his 500 years of ibadah will vanish just like that. And guess what? We have the rest of things, the rest of whole body and package is still there. And Allah says, okay, so what happens is, the rest hisab will start. Then he will figure out, like, according to that hisab, he has to go to hellfire. And as angels will start dragging him towards the hellfire, then he will start screaming, says, oh Allah, Allah, have mercy on me. Let's not, with your rahmah, forgive me and enter me to Jannah. Then Allah says, okay, hold on. Go enter to Jannah with my mercy. So Allah is relating, if 500 years of ibadah with that kind of sincerity, when you think of ourselves where we are, and so we are nowhere even closer to those kind of things. We will enter to Jannah by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is relating this example to us. Why? So think about it. If 500 years of those purity and sincerity of ibadah, someone is not going to get them by their own means of entering the Jannah, so who are we? We don't have even 5 years of life here. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر لي ولكم سائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله استعينوا واستغفروا ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله ارسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعه من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فانه لا يضر الا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملت الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم اغفر لأمة سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ارحم أمة سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم أسل أمة سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم اجبر أمة سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم فرج عن أمة سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات وأصلحهم وأصلح ذات بينهم وألف بين قلوبهم واجعل في قلوبهم الإيمان والحكمة. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملت الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. عباد الله، الله الله في أصحابي لا تتخذوا غرضا من بعدكم من أحبهم بحب أحبهم ومن أبغضهم ببغض أبغضهم وخير أمتي قرني ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون. أقيموا الصلاة.